So we've got the Ireland team announced to face England. I'll put them up side by side and I'd love to know how you think they stack up. Welcome to this video, once again supported by Sports News Blitz. Do check out their website for great Six Nations coverage. Let's have a look at this Ireland team, and it is fairly settled, but are there some chinks of light that maybe England could exploit? In the front row, it's slightly different. They would have preferred Dan Sheehan to be fully fit so he could start. They played him for Leinster the other day to get him some game time, but clearly not enough to trust him from the start. I'm sure we will see him, but it's Kelleher who's been pretty reliable, but Sheehan has just that little bit more athletic ability, a bit better out wide, for example. Porter was always going to start at loosehead with the ever-reliable Cian Healy on the bench. Tighthead, of course, they're without Tadhg Furlong. That is a problem because Tadhg Furlong is a starter for a reason. He's a British and Irish Lion for a reason. Finlay Bealham is decent, that's for sure. But again, on the bench, they're going to have to go with a younger Thomas Clarkson, who actually impressed quite a lot last year anyway. So exciting, but a little bit weaker maybe in the front row than they could have been. And the same for the second row. I'm not saying this is a weak side, but for England grasping at straws, you'd say Ireland would have preferred to have McCarthy in there, but he's not available. So you've got James Ryan with Tadhg Beirne, and Tadhg Beirne probably would have been at 6 if McCarthy was fit. So that's a little change they didn't want to make. But what a chance for Ryan Baird. He's been the up-and-coming man for so long, really had to wait for his big chance, and what a big chance this is. His athletic ability is unmatched, and England went for those 3 shorter back rowers. Ireland got a lot taller back row, plus of course Ryan Baird can play second row anyway. Van der Fleer is pretty tall, Doris is pretty tall, so I know Ireland have had problems in their line-out, but it's definitely going to be an area that they're going to want to try and dominate. Also interesting on the bench, they've gone for Ian Henderson covering second row, gone for a bit more solidity there, a bit more experience. They could have gone for the young pretender Izuchukwu for some more dynamism, but in this first game they've gone for the experience. But again, are they a little bit safe there? On the bench, though, in the back row is Jack Conan, returning to the Irish side, been injured for a while, and he's maybe the forgotten man for other people, not Irish fans, because you always tell me how great he is. So he has actually pushed out O'Mahony there, Peter O'Mahony, so that just shows how high regard he is held in, and he's got a great impact coming on probably at 8, with then the captain moving to blindside. Into the back line, Gibson Park is fit, fantastic news. Murray on the bench, maybe it would have been Casey if he was fit, but he's not in the squad of course, so that was always going to be the case. And then the big call at 10, who gets the nod? It's Sam Prendergast, the youngster, over Jack Crowley. Crowley, a bit more athletic maybe, a bit more explosive, but Sam Prendergast, clearly they trust him. They think he can manipulate the defences, he can play the game plan a bit better than Crowley. I'm sure England, again with that quick back row, will try and get to him, but in some ways that's how Sam Prendergast plays his best. He wants guys coming onto him so he can select those passes. So I wonder how England will go there. Should they even stand off him a bit, because he's probably not as quick as Crowley is? Should they let him play his pass, then hit the guy who's taken the ball rather than try and rush him? I'm pretty sure they're going to try and rush him. Let's see how he goes. Certainly, I think his skills are fantastic. His kicking out of hand is probably his standout feature. So we will see. They've had Sexton in the camp working really hard as a kicking and skills coach. So I'm sure that's something that's going to pay off with Prendergast. Maybe he had a hand in having him selected. Who knows? Centres is the same. Aki and Ringrose. Henshaw's always there or thereabouts, but he has to settle for a bench spot. Just 3 class players really helps. And then they get to play their favourite back 3. Lowe's just managed to get a game and seems to be fit enough. Mac Hansen came straight back in at the end of the year, so they clearly trust him, and Keenan's their number 1 fullback. So these are the guys they want. So apart from Prendergast, I guess this is the standard back line for Ireland. England, if they go to a high ball game, I don't think they're going to have too much joy out of Hansen and Lowe and Keenan, because they're so good there. So anyway, on the bench we had Crowley, like I mentioned, Murray and Henshaw. It's a very good Ireland team. Are there some chinks of light that England could exploit? Don't know. Anyway, let me know all those comments down below. What you think of this team? How's the game going to go? And I'll catch you next time.